pact once broken, forged anew. Warlocks Waffles, forged anew. Did you want waffles?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. We are here. So are you. It's time for show. Woo!
That's a rhyme.
That's the energy. It's not.
He said he was gonna rhyme. He said he was gonna rhyme. And
I texted
instead
Junie
of like
this
a
morning.
word,
I said I've been working all week since we didn't have the show. I've been working all week on a kick-ass intro for this episode. Went to poetry classes to write you that beautiful piece.
I love that you used a sound instead of a word. You know what I mean? So many people decide they have to rhyme words with words, and sometimes you just gotta make a noise that's vaguely reminiscent of the vowels.
I've said so many times that that people should end more poems with just woo!
Especially online where like the audio levels out automatically and it kind of cuts it sometimes.
Yeah,
Like, that's when you know.
when it just
That's
cuts
when you
out my
know,
audio
yeah.
completely. Welcome to the show, y'all. It has been a little bit. Because we didn't do it last Monday, right? Because we had just gotten back from Gen Con.
Correct.
Friday, I was dying. It wasn't COVID, luckily, but I was just feeling like garbage. And the previous
I was
week,
also not hot, so it was one of those like you texted me and I was just like,
yeah,
oh thank God.
one of those mornings where we were just hoping the other person would cancel.
I was not great.
Yeah. And then the week before that, we were like prepping for Gen Con. So like I think it's been at least 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It feels like forever.
I'm a different person now.
Yeah.
Left-handed.
You guys can't tell,
Surprisingly-
but this is actually
surprisingly enough, yeah.
a Junie impersonator that we hired for the show.
Just like Eminem, they're positive that he's been replaced. You'll never be able to fully prove or disprove whether or not I'm the first one.
Yeah. Speaking of Eminem, I went to Eminem World this weekend.
How was that? How did you enjoy that?
It was fine. It was Eminem World. It's not worth talking about other than as a pivot from talking about Eminem. I did find out
but I can't.
I found a very interesting piece of information out recently about M&Ms. You want to hear my M&M fun fact?
Yeah.
Do you know who the voice of the yellow M&M is?
Oh, I do actually. Isn't it he's bald.
Uh-huh.
Is it Simmons?
It's J.K. Simmons. J.K.
Simmons,
Simmons
yes.
is the voice of the yellow M&M and has been for a long time.
Yeah.
And he like that's J.K. Simmons for like he voiced J. Jonah Jameson. Like he's the voice of he wants pictures of Spider-Man. He's also Ketherick Thorm in Baldur's Gate 3. So when you're like having the first like real big boss fight of that game, just know that you are fighting the yellow M&M. That's it. Grace and I at M&M World, there was they had big statue things of the different M&Ms, and we took a picture with the yellow one because we were like, got a picture with Ketherick Thorm, woo!
He keeps wanting pictures of Spider-Man. I don't know what to do.
Dude, I'm not somebody who knows how to mod games. I need somebody to make me a mod for Baldur's Gate 3 where Ketherick Thorm will demand pictures of Spider-Man.
There's probably a way to swap a line of dialogue, like one pivotal piece of dialogue,
Yeah.
and then just constantly put in that audio clip from a
Ooh,
movie.
what about when because there's the like Drider, right? If you don't kill the Drider, he will go like up onto the roof of the tower to join that like first fight with Ketherick. What if you just added a line about Spider-Man?
That'd be funny. That would actually. That seems like one of those Easter eggs
it
that they
seems
would
so
put in there.
doable.
Yeah, that seems like such a very easy doable like Easter egg. Huh.
Yeah. See, there you go.
There
Or
we go.
you mod the yellow M&M as his model, said Rosie in the chat.
That's what I thought you were gonna say. Originally, I thought you were gonna say like make like a nightmare
Yeah.
M&M model that just like still mocaps like the same thing.
Yeah,
So that's what I thought you were going with it, and I was like, oh my god, no, that would be very bad.
Yep. You just replace all of the like big bads of Baldur's Gate with different M&Ms.
I don't know if you remember this, but I remember when it first came out, they had to like put in a patch because if you were any of the shorter races and you had like to kiss Karlach, like it wouldn't line up. Like she would lean forward and you would just kind of like kiss her knees.
Yeah.
And like that was it. I still imagine that if you were to do the M&M mod, it'd be so funny because like any sort of eye contact or like blocking would not be correct, but like everybody would be playing it off like, what do you think, Ketherick? And he's just there clearly wrong.
I desperately want the
Rosie wants the M&M's cut of like Baldur's Gate.
Yes, Rosie has latched onto this and is so into it.
It's gonna be a weird Kickstarter. Like by the end of the day,
it has to be that like that old bad animation quality where it like just fully looks so fake, where it's just like rotating in the space, like no detail
the whole time.
The worse it looks, the better, I think, for this particular mod.
Okay. I was about to say, it was just like, I think I don't know, it's like AAA title, and it's just like, give me pictures of Spider-Man.
Just a yellow M&M pivoting. I want pictures of Spider-Man. Amazing. Speaking of innovation,
I don't know what this show is anymore.
Yeah,
I'm just here, and I'm like,
well, let me pivot into something here. Here's the thing, y'all. Anytime we have a period of time where we don't do this show, it slowly builds up to a near toxic level of nonsense in our systems. This show
toxic
exists
masculinity, and I'm like,
it slowly builds up to toxic masculinity
because Hunter's a bitch.
Apologize now. It slowly builds up in this like levels of nonsense in our system. This show is essentially just a pressure relief valve for nonsense to ensure that the rest of our lives are not just overwhelmed by that nonsense. So today's going to be a little bit all over the place because it has to be. It's been over 2 weeks since we did this show. We've got a lot of things to touch on. We're gonna rapid fire through them. The first thing
we need to get it all out.
The first
what? Why'd you react that way?
The first thing I need to talk about.
No, I'm not letting you pivot out of that. What's wrong?
You're just trying to. Your word choices are always impressive.
Thank you. Why did that compliment sound also backhanded? I don't understand what's happening.
here's the first thing I need to talk about. I often drink sodas on the stream. However, none of the soda brands have given us money to drink their stuff on the stream. So I'm done giving away that free advertising. So I bought this. It was on clearance at Target. I can like slide the can directly in there. Now it's like, oh, it's hidden. What is Hunter drinking? It's a mystery. However, after I bought this, I was like, yeah, but this is big and bulky, and it also doesn't look great on camera. So then I've had this for a while, which is just this like gold skull chalice. The problem is if I use this, I would have to clean this out every time. I don't want to clean this out every time. That seems like a lot of work. So I was like, ooh, can I just put this in here? No, I can't. It'll rattle around. It's absurd. Yeah. However,
this is a journey.
I'm an innovator. I took a level of artificer. This pulls out to make it easier to wash. The top of the green can pops off, and then I can push that in here, which then in turn, this doesn't go anywhere now, baby.
Y'all, the journey we all went on was probably a 1-for-1.
Welcome to Hunter's School of Innovations and Technology. We here at the Hunter's Institute for School of Things are here to train you how to take a bunch of things to do a simple task more complicated like.
Also, that name, Hunter's School of Things, almost makes it seem like it's a school, like it's an institute for you to come up with like a school for something.
Yeah.
So it's like, we will teach you how to make an entire institution for, I don't know, I'm bad at accents.
Do you want to have a school that is a institute for learning things? Well, we here at the Hunter's Institute for School of Things are here to teach you how to have your own institute or school.
Engineering? Mutants, all of it.
Do you want to have a school for gifted youngsters where you train mutants how to use their abilities? This is a crazy thing, but you could do it if you put your mind to it and also get your degree from Hunter's Institute for School of Things. So anyway, we're a TTRPG morning show.
I almost wrote down something where I was just like, Hunter rhymed a word with another word instead of a sound. Coward. All right. He has a laundry list of things. This is the first thing he was
welcome to the show. You don't understand how excited I was when I realized that I could put those pieces together to make this, because also this is so much more satisfying than drinking out of this. Like, this is like, hi, I'm an ant and I'm on the beach. Like, this is, hello, I am a dungeon master and I am plotting your demise.
I thought you were going to say the same damn thing again. I thought you were going to say,
hi, I'm an ant on the beach. Hi, I'm an ant on the beach.
Yes, that's exactly what I thought you were going to do. I was just like, yo, you know what? You brought me around. I'm here.
Yeah. Welcome to Warlocks and Waffles. We are a TTRPG morning show. We are here to talk about TTRPG things. This has been our first segment, the Hunter's Institute for School of Things. Our second segment here, Junie, we went to Gen Con.
Yeah.
How was your Gen Con?
It was good. I was at the Norse Foundry booth all the time, so I didn't see anything else. But I had, my highlight was I liked it when people would come up to me with weird character descriptions, or like telling me that I would ask them for their dice preferences and stuff. And the weirdest one, without the person knowing that I was the one to approach, luckily it was me. He came up and like really like sighed, said, "Hey, I have a weird question. Do you have any dice that look like crab meat?" and the problem was,
person already.
The problem with it was I immediately was like, hold on. and I immediately walked away from him. So he was like, and I immediately walked away because I already knew what we needed.
Excuse
right?
me, do you have any dice that look like crab meat? And then it's just a pan cut of watching Junie dart out the back of the booth and leave the convention.
Hold on, I think my webcam is actually perfectly designed for this. Let me see. Oh, cool device. I have like a
Ooh.
tabletop mode.
That's awesome.
So this was like orange cat
eye. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was already like, Shanice the night before said, "Do you have any dice that look like sherbet?" And I was like, "I think so." And then I had these in the back of my head, and when he said crab meat, I was like, "Wait a second, I have dice that look exactly like crab meat." So I took these out, and then immediately he was just like, "Yes."
Excuse me, sir. Do you have any crab flavored sherbet colored dice?
But he was like, yes, I don't care how much it is. Like, he instantly wanted them, but I think he was more stunned that I did it so quickly, not that they
just
existed.
immediately. Yeah. The fact that you had this encyclopedic knowledge of the dice in the booth, where when he said crab meat, you said yes and ran away.
Yeah. So from that point forward, I pretty much just started labeling myself as a dice sommelier, and just started like telling people, I was like, well, where do you lean on the dice spectrum, or like, what is it? Is it for you? Is it for a character? And like it started becoming like business pitches,
yeah.
But like that was not, and then when it came to the end of the weekend, like, oh, we got a credit for something, I was like, well, I'm gonna take home these crab dice. Like, there's just like, now this is it. Like, these are now my dice.
Yeah.
But like, I it's one of those things where I got to see people, so that was cool. But like, all in the context of like just like orbiting my booth, like, hey, Jenny, how's it going? I was like, cool. Woo. Hey, man, how's it going? Woo.
Yep.
And I got the sweetest pair of Skechers, man. I got these Max Cushions. I will free sponsor, like, brand deal this. Like, oh my god, my feet thank me.
Damn it, Junie,
bro. I'm
just
sorry,
giving
man.
away
You
these
don't
free.
understand.
You know the lengths I went through to not disclose my sodas, and you're just giving away Sketcher ads.
I'm sorry, dude. You just don't understand. Like, I thought, no. Here's how I know that they were the best thing on the planet. Right?
Yeah, I'm listening.
My knees were bothering me a little bit before I left. I got these shoes because I was on me standing all the time. I went, had nights where like, oh yeah, my feet hurt. I've been on my feet all day, but nothing crazy. Came home, and I was like, oh, I'm at home. I'm gonna, be barefoot or on my socks, and my knees immediately started hurting. I'd forgotten what the floor felt like, Hunter.
Yeah.
And then I was like, the floor is like, I don't know if you ever seen the Rick and Morty episode where the guy does perfect level, like Rick does like perfect level, and then like true level is like the only thing. Now I'm like, I can't walk on normal surfaces now because I'm only used to walking on like heavenly cloud.
Yeah.
And now everything is garbage.
Yeah.
It sucks. I've ruined myself. You know what? Pivot. Fuck you, Skechers. All right. Demonetized immediately, but like, I'm mad.
You made your shoes too good, and I'm upset about it.
That was my Gen Con.
Yeah,
that was my Gen Con in a nutshell.
Especially in the exhibitor hall, because like those floors are hard. And you stand on those all day.
I didn't know. I wouldn't have known.
It'll kill your feet if you don't have good shoes for it.
Hold on one second.
Yeah.
Did you make an upgrade to your little office?
I
think, is that a little fan right there? Is that a little fan? It is a little fan. I see?
Yeah.
You're keeping yourself.
It's got like a little. It's like a little wooden border. Yeah. So when I was in Michigan for our family reunion, my brothers and I, we all run warm, so we all sleep with a fan. And you laughing about sleeping with a fan?
Yeah, I was just like, your wives hate it.
Yeah. No, I
But
heard it when I
yeah.
said it. We don't sleep with fans, but we do sleep with a fan in the room though, which isn't better. It's a
Yo,
little
I'm
weirder.
real stupid. I'm real stupid because I just realized what that sounded like. I was like sleeping with fans, and I was like, no, it was full on like
Oh
Hunter.
no, you
Like
were
Hunter's wife
like,
walking in with a box fan, like like walking in. You were with a box fan, the sheets pulled up, covering everything. You were like, it's not what it looks like. Like I'm real stupid. I'm really fucking stupid, man.
I love the fact that you heard
I'm
sleeping with a fan and your brain went, they're having sexual relations with an oscillating fan. This isn't the scandal.
Yes. Yeah, I went real like
It's
that was the first that was the first one, yeah.
yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, we both, my brothers and I,
So
we need airflow in the room, and like the white noise helps us. So we got there, and my youngest brother realized that he hadn't brought a fan with him. And so I needed to do a run out to Walmart, and I was like, oh, I'll just pick up a fan for him so that he has like that while we're there. And I knew I wanted a fan for my office, so I looked for one that specifically like looked good in the space. And it's got like a little just a little like USB-C, so I just have cord here. It charges my phone when I need to, or it charges my fan when I need it. But yeah, it's nice. I like it. But yes,
Nice.
I did kind of reorganize things a little bit. I pulled all of the books out of this shelf, and then reorganized them. So now I have like all of my Hit Point Press books, and I have all of my Kobold Press, and I have some other ones over here, and some other ones over here, and a lot of stuff. Yeah, I bought way too many books at Gen Con. Like
I had to stop myself from like going because I knew I was gonna pick up stuff that I didn't want to carry home.
Going through security at the airport on the way home was very funny because I knew my bag would be, I had one checked bag, and I knew that checked bag would be overweight if I put the books into it. So I was like, I'll just put all of them into my backpack, and I'll be fine. But I fully bought like 12 books at Gen Con. So there were just like 2 stacks of 6 books deep in my backpack. So I'm like going through security, it goes through the x-rays, and as soon as I put it through the x-ray, I was like, oh, there's no way this doesn't get pulled for like a second look. And they like pull it off to the side. They're like turning it over, and on the screen, I don't know if you've ever looked at the screen when they've like x-rayed it, and they can kind of like rotate it creates this like 3D scan of the bag, and they can like rotate it on a screen to kind of like look through the stuff, which is like super cool. I'm looking at them looking at the screen, and they're like rotating the bag, and it's like you can see the outline of my bag, and you can see where like my charger is and some other like random stuff, and then you just see this big dense box of red in the middle where it just looks like a solid mass. And they're like, what is that? And I'm like, it's books. It's just books. There are so many books in the backpack. I knew
Sir, can you
immediately
please step
this was going to
aside?
get
We're gonna have
pulled.
to really nobody that just says it's books, it's just books, it's ever just books.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to
So
investigate.
it was an adventure. But yeah, Gen Con was a lot of fun. You and I hung out a little bit. We didn't get to hang out a ton just because of schedules didn't line up super well, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But we did hang out. You and I went to the start playing party on Friday, which was wild.
If anybody's just staring at my face, there was probably a range of emotions because I just remember, like, I was like, yeah, we didn't get to hang out as much, but I'm glad we got to hang out and then start playing thing. And then I got mad, right? Because Hunter tried to stifle me as I was trying to pitch my Too Hot to Handle stream. So, right, I had He's gonna look at him. He's trying to do it right now. He's already trying to think of a way to pivot from this, right? But I had an idea, right, for somehow taking Too Hot to Handle, the classic Netflix show, and turn it into a TTRPG like mechanic.
Yes, we did a whole episode on this.
Did we do a whole episode on it?
Yes.
Oh, we did do a whole episode on it. Okay. He's already trying to cancel me again. I'm bringing it back though, right? Because I forgot about that. Because I only thought about the thing because it's one thing to do it on the internet, but we were in person. And he was mushing my face and trying to shove me into a plant. And he's just like, shut up, Junie. No one wants your sexy TTRPG show. And I was like, I was talking to that person.
We're meeting people that we respect in the industry and we've never talked to before. And we're like, oh, we love your stuff. And they're like, oh, thanks. Like, what do you do? We're like, oh, we do a TTRPG morning show. And they're like, that's cool. And then Junie's like, shut up. Shut your stupid face. Let me pitch you this idea. I got this idea, see? I'm going to put Too Hot to Handle in your TTRPGs. You know what bards don't do enough? Seduce people. We need a whole system based around seducing people and doing TTRPG things in Too Hot to Handle format. I'm gonna put a cone. It's gonna be in charge of things. And then there's gonna be another cone. It's gonna be a secret cone that doesn't like the other cone. They got some rivalries. And this went on for 72 hours. So anyway, Junie, go ahead and
you went on to arrive.
Go ahead and tell
the journey that you went on to arrive at that. I don't remember anymore, but all I remember is
mission accomplished.
I was so distracted by it. What's funny is I put the tweet out because I was like, you know what? This is the episode people show up on. This is the episode people show up on. And then I imagine me send that tweet and then you're doing all that. And then I'm like, great. This is going to be the one. This is going to be it. People coming on. Sexy TTRPG.
Sexy TTRPG content.
This is why we really need to get our Stream Deck situation right, because I do want to hit a button, have sexy, and TTRPGs pop up on the screen over the overlay. As we're doing things but just anytime at any point.
Yes, agreed. But yeah, we went to the start playing party. Junie was pitching his Too Hot to Handle show to people.
Did you hear me talking Spanish? Did you hear me at one point?
Probably. It was that night was wild.
Because I jumped in on somebody's conversation and in the most in my brain it's rude, but it was I guess a social funny thing. But it was I don't know if they were flirting or not. But I was just kind of there, and then the woman was saying something in Spanish, kind of teaching him, and he was like, "Oh, un poquito," and so then I just jump in, and I'm just talking Spanish, right? And I could see the look on his face where he was like, "Yeah." Weird weird flex. And then she starts laughing, so it looks like I'm very charming, charismatic, or something like that.
Did you turn to him and say, don't worry, I'm not trying to muscle in on your girl, I'm just trying to do crimes?
Exactly. That's the vibe I gave off. But it was funny because from his perspective, dude comes in, it's la cosa es cuando alguien me pregunta si yo hablo español, yo digo esto. So se ve que yo puedo decir cualquier cosa que yo quiero decir en español. And then she's laughing. We're like, and then I turned and I said that whenever someone asks me if I speak Spanish, I say this, and then it sounds like I can speak Spanish no matter what. And that's all I said. And then he laughed, and then we were all in the conversation. But there was a good moment where it was just bro,
right?
Is that a ring on your finger? What are you doing?
What are you doing right now?
This married Puerto Rican guy is just coming in and muscling in on my woman here.
Yeah. I didn't see that moment.
Social situations. Don't let Junie drink. Don't just.
It was a fun night though. It was a good time. We had fun. We got to hang out with people that we don't get to see all that often. I ran into people that I haven't seen in quite some time, which was a lot of fun. It was a good show. Did you have any highlights from the show other than selling crab dice?
Oh man. I guess this is without putting names out there. Did I tell you how I met Jeremy Crawford?
Without putting names out there, here's a name. Um,
No. Well, Jeremy Crawford, that's
yeah,
one thing. I don't want to put the other person's name
no.
out there.
Uh,
Uh,
you did, but it's a good story.
oh, yeah. No, I'm going on a lunch break, and I'm like, and I see a friend of mine, and
Which also, just for context, Junie's hotel was connected to the convention center, but in order to get there, you had to go to like the far end of the convention center and then run through like halls and tunnels and a parking garage and like another hotel and do all of this stuff. And then it's through tunnels and secret elevators and all of this stuff. It is such a process to get to his hotel. So every lunch break is like, wild.
I was just, and I could not have done that, but I was like, I was trying to save money and anything.
Mhm.
So I go and I see my friend, and I was like, and I see him walk with Jeremy Crawford. I'm like, hey, he's like, hey, do you want to hang out? And I'm like, because he's clearly like, hey, do you want to hang out and talk with us? And I'm just like, oh, I would love to, but I have to go. I have to go get shitty food. And all in the back of my head, I'm like, I don't have anything to like. I have like, I don't know how to pitch a lot of things right now, so I'm gonna go.
You're not
and then
in
he's just
pitch
like,
mode.
yeah, so he's like, oh, it's just like, well, Junie, this is Jeremy. Jeremy, this is Junie. And I was like, ooh, he said my full name, which felt cool to me. He's like, Jeremy, this is Junie Ruiz. And then I was like trying to shake hand, but then also like he had his hands full, so I was already being awkward. So I was like, fist bump. And then I was like, all right, guys, we'll see you. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? What did man, I don't even take advantage. And then like 3 people recognized me from TikTok, which was extra weird on that same lunch break. That day was weird for me. Because like I was getting pizza and then somebody's just like, Junie? It's so-and-so. And I was like, and then once again in a rush. So I was like, oh man, I'm seeing everybody from my TikTok digs. I'm over at this booth. Peace.
And you may be listening to this show thinking that when Junie says he said peace, that was him like running away, and you're listening from the perspective of the person who's
said that
standing
and
there.
Then left.
Junie. Junie said, "Oh
I
man,
waved
I'm seeing everybody from my TikTok days. Peace." Standing still.
If you didn't know me from TikTok, that was my thing. That was my trademark. I'd end all my videos with, I had no retention. Like it was just always like, I'd say whatever I'd do, and the end was just like peace. It was terrible. And there was one at the start playing thing. Somebody else recognized. I don't know how these people are finding my TikTok now. It's so weird. But somebody was like, hey, yo, it's me from TikTok. Where I missed your content. And I'm thinking like, missed my what? Huh? Is this a sign? What's happening? And then to tell me, you remember so-and-so? And I'm like, yeah, we're together now. We started dating. We met through like our TikTok group, because there was a bunch of us that like started out at the same time. And I was like, oh my God.
That's really cool.
So sweet. This is so good. Oh my God. TikTok, bringing people together. Once again, sponsored, like not sponsored, not sponsored. We need to have that button come up where I accidentally sponsor something.
Future sponsor.
Future sponsor. Future sponsor of the show.
This is
TikTok.
This is a pre-ad. It was a good show for like running into people like that.
It was,
There was a.
And you know what? You had a great for people that have not run into Hunter at a show. He has devised that it was, I had to go through the stages of like acceptance. New business cards. I will promote Hunter's business cards.
Pitching you on my business card was a ride. You were not on board when I pitched it. You were like,
I wasn't against it. I was just more like trying to wrap my head around it at first. Where I'm like, oh,
it is absolute nonsense. I turned my business card into a packed reward card. So there's a little like rewards card thing on the back of it. It's got little like waffles for like the things that you like hit with the hole punch. And then I got hole punches. So Junie and I had like hole punches that we could like punch these cards. And it was a ton of fun. My favorite part about it was that it was very clear who was on board with my brand of nonsense and who wasn't. I
Mm.
handed out I think 2 cards to people who their response was like, "Oh, thanks," after the hole punch thing, and like fully didn't get it, didn't like it, didn't think it was fun. A
I know
lot
somebody
of
came. I saw somebody come up to you and get a hole punch. So he's like, "Hey,
yeah, yeah.
you want to?" And I'm
I
like,
I had a couple of people that found me at multiple different events to get the card punched. There was one
just
person who
imagine
did
a slightly drunk hunter, like a slightly drunk hunter version of Tom Hanks from Polar Express. Just like, "Oh, hey, thanks for coming." He's just hole punching. It's a
um
dick. Uh, Hunter would never. It would be a fan. It would never.
it's like, you know, the like the tickets in Polar Express have like
Yeah.
lead, like trust, believe, like those sorts of things. I like spin the card around doing this whole bunch. I hand it back and it just says, "Buy me a drink."
I was gonna say, if it's just believe and then you flip it, it's a dick. It's like it doesn't make sense. Rosie Redeemed. It's a family show.
Oh,
How else do you make
okay.
families?
That's fair. The all I want to do is swear now immediately.
Oh, I mean,
Um,
it's such a
it
bad reflex.
it immediate reflex.
Like all the worst words too.
So, but yes, it was a lot of fun. I did have one person who managed to
Sorry,
track
Mom.
me down several times throughout the show to get a like all of the holes punched on their card, which was very very cool. Got to give them a sticker. That's the reward if you get a full punch card. Get a little sticker.
I
Um,
I will say that there was I cheated one time,
mhm.
uh, because I love. Oh, I need to make sure I didn't give them all away. No, I didn't give them all away because I think you gave me more than two. I love the waffle mic sticker, right?
Yes.
And you gave it to me one time, and I put it on the back of a lanyard, and I was like, I want to put it like right here and just cover up this, right?
Mhm.
And I never had one, so I was like, oh, okay, you gave me one. I was like, I'm totally just gonna use this on my mic.
Yeah. Oh,
And
that's
then
so smart. I could definitely put it like right here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you know it's, like, always gonna be, like, facing a certain direction. I move my thing around a lot, but, like,
Mhm.
I still think, like, having it, like, right here or something where it's,
Yeah.
like,
Because
I've
like
seen people
no
put
matter
stickers on
where
their
I
mics.
move it, it's gonna be like right there. That's really smart.
Yeah, um, so I was just like, "Okay," but, like, as I was packing all my stuff, like, if I was to the start playing thing or anything, like, I'd forget the hole punch, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then, and I was just like, "Hunter's expecting me to go to a mixer with a hole punch." Like, damn it. Uh,
I did
Imagine going to security and being like, "Hey, you
regret
got some metal in your pocket?" It's like, "I have a hole punch."
just I have this hole punch. No, you don't understand. It's a novelty hole punch. It's not just a regular circle. The
Okay.
I did have uh I did have the realization, I think day 2 at the con, as I had like packed my bag for the con. I'm like walking the floor. I'm like, I have ensured that every day I do have to bring like this much stuff with me just in order to hand
Hey,
out my business
I'll
cards.
send you a link because at my old job we used to have thumb hole punches, and they're
Mm,
like this big. They're like this big. It's literally just enough for like, and it would always be like a star or
yeah,
like a
yeah, yeah,
flower, a simple shape. But it was like they're always like just this big. They're not a full thing. It's just literally use your thumb to press down. So that would be an easier pocketable thing.
yeah. I like that.
Um, but I was at the Cobalt Press. I was at the Cobalt Press. I went to their room. I didn't.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that's the only one I went to because you
The
pointed
playroom.
out it was on the way to my room. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I introduced myself to Zach again. I don't know if I told you about that.
No,
I went up to him and he was in the middle
which
of a conversation.
shout out friend of the show, Zach.
Yes, friend of the
Love
show,
Zach.
Zach. I want to meet him one day. It's
Didn't you
friend
just
with,
say didn't you just
no,
say you
because
introduced him?
that's the gag because at the start playing thing, we all talk, we're all hanging out, we're all
Yeah,
whatever. And then after we were in an Uber together,
yeah.
and then like, I don't know, 2 hours later, he comes up and he's just like, Junie, I just realized I had already met you and I was on your show for an hour. and he like put two and two together that I was already the guy he had fucked with, like he had
Yeah.
already interacted with.
Yeah.
So I was just like, yeah, like yeah, it's me. And
That's
also
really funny.
and then we remembered that apparently 2 years previously we had already been on a drunken bar crawl, like with other people, and we had already met then too.
Amazing.
Right? So I was like, it was already running gag. So I knew he was busy, and I knew that if I timed it just right, it would go exactly as I envisioned. He's a social media manager for Coldwood
Mhm.
Press, so community manager. He is, he's good at what he does, and sometimes you get into this customer service mode.
Right.
And I know he just gotten food. I think it was Arby's. I know it was Arby's because in my head, there's no Arby's around me anymore, and I'm like, people eat Arby's, and it's amazing to me when people eat Arby's. So he's there, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, hey, sorry, Zach, real quick, I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Junie Ruiz. It's nice to meet you. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. Hey, it's good to meet you. And he stands up, and then he like sees me laughing at that point.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you son of a bitch. So what his coworker or whatever sitting at the table sees is somebody, hi, I'm from the community. Hi,
I like.
it's nice to meet you.
I just want to say hi.
Oh, hey, it's good to meet you.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, just there, like all of a sudden, it's just like, you rat bastard.
Yeah. I told you never to show your face here again.
Yeah.
That's very.
But
funny.
I think I gave him and somebody else like a waffle sticker because I was like, these are the best things. He's very proud of them. I'm very proud of them for him. These are here cool because they're just so cool. Like the waffle mic is
sticker.
a cool
I do like the waffle
thing.
mic.
You know what I mean? It does a great job of conveying like, hey, we talk. It's just a good like podcast talk show symbol.
It is my favorite thing about it is that it always registers as a microphone. Like people immediately clock it as, oh, this is a microphone. It's like a kind of an old timey radio microphone vibe. And then after they clock, oh, this is a waffle. Like it's not the immediate recognition of the waffle. It's always the immediate recognition of the mic followed by the waffle. Which gives me joy. I like seeing the secondary realization. Rosie has redeemed Hydrate. And here's the thing, Rosie. I would love to. I can't currently. A water main broke in our area, so we do not have drinkable water currently. Which is so much fun. I think I have
trying to be funny. Do you have
not a bit
water? Like do you have like can you use any type of water? You said drinkable, so you made it sound like a distinction.
The water pressure is really bad. We can get like a shower, but like the water doesn't feel great. So it's not super cool, but yeah. I do have Rosie, you did redeem Hydrate, so I want to give you the credit for it. I do have a vitamin water.
You have a soda.
I do have vitamin water down here. Soda does not count. I have vitamin water. You can choose the flavor of the vitamin water if you want, Rosie.
Ooh.
I have a acai blueberry pomegranate or orange. Your choice.
One of them was going to require her to type more and use punctuation.
Correct. If you want the first one, you have to spell out the entire thing. Okay.
Also, your like backlight that I see you have there.
Yes.
If you really wanted to be funny, if you ever wanted to go, I have an idea, it would be so much time wasted. Yeah, you just kind of slouch or you just hit your chair and you're like,
yeah,
Ackle blueberry.
Yeah, it was a fun show though. We hung out with a lot of people. I got to go to the Hunters Entertainment Party, which was a lot of fun. Because it always is. It's always a good party. But that was a good time. When I was at that party, I got to catch up with Aram from Dead Ghost, which is a lot of fun to kill every monster. They were so much fun. I hadn't met them in person before, so it was nice to like put a physical person to a face that I've talked to online. And then we were talking because a project that I worked on was NA nominated this year, and a project that he has been doing was also NA nominated. Replay, huge shout out. That show, I hadn't gotten around to listening to Replay yet. It was on my list of like things that I wanted to check out. I just hadn't gotten to it. And I'm chatting with Aram, and he's very proud of it. It's amazing. And so he was like, "Hey, if you get a chance, just give it a listen. Let me know your thoughts on it. Like I would love to know what you think." And so I was like, "Absolutely." I went to the airport the next morning, and I was like, "I've got a bunch of flights. Let's start downloading this." So I downloaded all of the episodes of Replay and just started listening to it. Over the next like 48 hours, I listened to the entire thing.
How many episodes is that?
I would have to check.
There's difference between it's 8 episodes and it's 432 episodes.
I listened to the entirety of Critical Role in 48 hours.
Like that doesn't math. Did you listen to it, or were you like asleep? My body listened to it. It's like orbit, like sound waves.
Let's see here. I think there's it looks like 6 episodes of the main thing.
Okay. Digestible.
Yeah. No, sorry. There are 7 episodes of the story, and then a replay rewind, which is the like after session or after game, looking back on it. But yeah, listened to the entire thing. It is incredibly good, incredibly well done. Anything Aram works on is going to be great, but the cast is incredible. The story is so good. The editing is just fantastic. I first was introduced to Aram years and years and years ago, listening to God's Fall, which at the time I remember sitting there and listening to it and being like, there is nothing in the in the scope of what they were doing. There were no other productions that were putting in the like time and energy to like sound design and editing and stuff like that.
Hours.
He puts in so much work. And it shows. It is incredibly well done. Huge shout out. If you haven't checked out Replay, go check it out. It is incredibly well done. I had a very, very good time listening to it. All right, let me drink this real quick.
Chuck. Wash it down with some soda, some skull soda.
Yeah, some skull soda. Okay. That's Gen Con.
Do you have your now? Yeah, I was gonna say, do you have a checklist that you?
Yes.
I always know, I always have a checklist of things.
So
I know you probably
do you have anything that you wanted to hit today?
No.
Okay.
I want to make sure you were getting your list.
Gen Con.
It
was good. We had fun. It was great to see everybody. If we didn't get a chance to see you and you were at Gen Con, very sorry. Next time. If we did see you and you weren't there, how did that happen?
Tell us how you feel about the Too Hot to Handle stream.
Tell us how you feel about the Too Hot to Handle
stream. Do you
think
it should happen or it should definitely happen? Put your thoughts in the comments.
The only 2 options. Okay. That was Gen Con. Got back from Gen Con.
You did?
Yes. I'm currently not there. It's over. It ended. You have to let go, Junie.
Stop living in the past.
Your family's concerned, Junie. Every morning you wake up and you go, gotta get to the exhibitor hall. Just walks into your living room and starts trying to sell your daughter dice. Your daughter walks into the room and is like, Dad, I want breakfast. And you're like, these dice look like bacon. These dice look like eggs. We've lost him. The dice fever has taken him.
So scary accurate. It's yeah.
Anyway, we got back from Gen Con. I told you when I was at Gen Con that I was working on a side quest while I was there to find a set of dice for my wife, because my wife has a character that she's been playing in one of my campaigns. And in her words, it is the first character she's ever cared about, and she's upset at me for making her care about this character. So I was on this side quest to find dice for that character. It was a lot of fun to kind of try and find some that were a good fit. Didn't end up finding anything that were exactly what she was looking for, so didn't end up buying any specifically to match what she wanted. I did buy her one set of dice, which was have you seen the scented dice?
I have heard of such a thing. I have not seen a specific set. Yeah.
There is a booth that sells dice that are scented. So you have a set called Fireball, and they're red and yellow and orange, and then they smell like smoke and embers, and it's a very intense smell.
I've seen dice sold in a candle. I've seen dice where when the wax is melting, that's how you retrieve the dice.
Yeah.
And I've heard of scented. I thought it was like a spray they put on there. I wasn't sure if it was
it's impressive how well they smell. But they have a wide variety of them. They have ones that smell like blueberry. They have ones that smell like red wine. They have ones that smell like fire. They have all these different ones. My wife's character is a divine soul sorcerer of the god of death. So she has gone to a lot of these graveyards and these dark temples and stuff like that to
stank dice.
try and commune with this god. They had a set of dice called Graveyard Soil. So I bought her those. They smell so strongly of dirt, but that dirt
mossy
of
earth,
mossy, wet, decaying dirt. It's that sort of smell. And I bought them for her, and she opened it. She's like, ew, this is horrible. But we had our game on Tuesday, and she rolled them the whole game. She said she was taking the dice and smelling it before she would roll to kind of center her mind on the character. I was there we go. So we had our session on Tuesday. And that game is so much fun. I'm having a blast with that one. We are delving into very serious inter-party conflict and emotional backgrounds and all of this drama and story and emotional heartstrings sort of campaign, which is not what I anticipated when we started running the game, and I'm having so much fun now that we've kind of moved into that, because it is a very, very different story than what I normally get to tell, and I'm really enjoying it. So we're doing that. That's next checkbox on my list of things I wanted to talk about. Last thing I want to talk about. Yesterday was my birthday. Thank you. So Grace and I went to New York City, where we got to see the 20-Sided Tavern, which is a show off Broadway in New York right now. That is a Dungeons and Dragons show, where they have the GM, they have the players, and they are it's like an actual play. But the audience is also like participating in it. So as
Mm-hmm.
they reach important decisions and stuff like that, they will give they would put like a poll out, and then on your phone you would get to vote on what choice was going to be made for the game. So they'd be like, okay, you can only like you are only going to have time to search one of these four districts of the city. Which of these four are you going to go to? And then it would come to our phone, and we would vote which of those districts they were going to go to. It'd be like, okay, you there are two rooms. Which one are you going to go to? So we were like making choices for the players, and then the players are like it's an
Mm-hmm.
improv game, taking those choices we're
Those as
making
prompts,
and
yeah.
like rolling with them. And it was so fun
That's great.
to sit there and watch. There was a very real conversation because we had such a good time. There was a very real conversation that Grace and I had yesterday as we were sitting at brunch, where we were like, okay, our train doesn't leave until like 5. They do have a matinee today at 2. Do we want to try and catch another show of it?
Oh.
Because it's different every time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we were like, do we want to try and see it again? And we ultimately decided like, no, that doesn't make any sense. We're not gonna go see it a second time. We do want to see it again. We were actually like, let's not do it right now, but let's check with like friends of ours and see if we all want to like road trip up to see it some weekend. Because it was such a good time. I highly recommend, if anybody is looking to go to New York City and you want to catch a fun nonsense show, it's a lot of fun. It's the GM, and then there's like a what they call the tavern keeper, which is like an assistant DM. So the DM is focused on the like story and like role play and reactionary like
Mm-hmm.
storytelling side of things, and then the tavern keeper is the rules. They are focused on like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, let me pull up the rules for that. Let me make sure that I am tracking everything accordingly. Let me make sure that like you have everything that you need, and they're like passing stuff to the GM. But they also are a performer and a storyteller. And so like at one point uh the GM jumped into the scene to like play with the other performers, and the tavern keeper was now like in charge and running the story.
Gotcha.
Like it was so much fun. They only have 3 like characters, and it's the mage, the trickster, and the warrior are the 3. And each of them has different characters that they might be in that classification. So the first thing that people are like voting on is, okay, who are these characters? And so they'll give the like one line pitch of who their character is,
Gotcha.
and give like, okay, here are 3 options, everybody vote for which one they're going to be. It was so much fun. I had
That's
an
funny.
absolute blast. They had a giant mimic that was there, and in the mimic was like a bunch of dice, and people were like taking a die from the mimic chest as like a
That's fun.
reminder of like the trip.
Oh, that's a
Um,
fun. Oh, that's good. You could that's a story. You can be like, this is the yeah, that's good.
it was such a good time. The whole like theater is stunning, like the set. I was sitting there going, I need to go to the eye doctor because my glasses are very out of date. And I know my
Oh,
vision isn't as good as it could be. And I was sitting there going, I just want to be able to see all the little details. There's so much up there. It looks like so much fun. It was such a blast. I had a great time. And it really reminded me why I love like live theater and live kind of shows, because there is something just so unique and energizing about that environment. Um I miss doing stuff like that. There was definitely a part of me on the ride back where I was like, maybe I wanted to start doing like an actual play again. And I talked myself out of it because I don't want to I don't want to do the
are you
production
sure?
side of
Are you
things
sure?
again. But like it was so much fun. If anybody is ever looking for a GM for an actual play thing, I would love to do story again. I don't want to do the technical production side of things after going through the nightmare of that prior. But it was so much fun. Absolutely recommend. Okay, Junie, I have ranted at you a lot this morning. Do you have anything you want to go over before we wrap up? I know we're like already a little over time.
Yeah. I will be upfront. I initially I am fighting every instinct in my body to circle back to the too hot to handle bit. So what I will say is that it's good to be back here.
Yeah.
And I miss this. And I think that a fun goal should be that like we need to be Emmy nominated for next year.
For just anything?
Just anything.
Just
really.
start covering our bases. We'll just start releasing like what are the categories? We're gonna make something in every one of them.
Podcast and talk show is a category. So yeah. I know I think I pitched us for whatever, but like we need to do whatever we need to. But like
yeah,
man, because this is fun.
Yeah.
This is fun. And I think people have fun listening to us.
Yeah.
So I want more people to have fun with us. That's
Absolutely.
what I like. I know I'm trying to get back into the workforce and do other things, but like I really like helping people, whether it's TTRPG stuff or like making their day feel better, like laughing and stuff like that. So I want to definitely have us do some more of this because more eyes need to be on this. I'm having fun.
Cool.
I'm still having fun.
Good. I'm down. Okay. Thank you all for hanging out with us this morning. Thank you for for hanging in there with our week back. We appreciate y'all making the time. We appreciate you hanging out with us. We will be back on Friday with more nonsense. Junie, it's been a little while since we've done this. Let's do a cold shot. What do you want to talk about on Friday?
Oh, I think we have. There's two things that are on my head. One is I know you've wanted to at least. I know we've talked more than once about the world building project.
Yes. So that is backburnered for now. With the intent of it being a much larger thing.
Okay. And the other thing is I want to play a game. Yes. I'm not even 100%. I just know I do want to play some sort of game.
Yeah.
So something we've done, either like Guess Who or something else, or just something new. But I know that I think that would be a fun easing back into things. It's like, all right, we did our nonsense catch up. That's what it always is. Like if there's ever a break, and then like let's do something to ease into stuff, and then get back into like topics, and such. I know that
I'm down to play a game. It's been a bit.
Yeah, and then after that we can talk about new 5e stuff once we know what will or won't get like censored. So yeah,
the embargo is lifted now, right?
Yes, but it was
available to the public at Gen Con.
It was, but there was I didn't follow it too closely. I know that there was some confusion where some people had things like content strikes for showing certain things, even though they thought they were within guidelines. I think now that's been cleared up, and I think it's not as crazy. But it's something like if I open the book and just kind of like open to
Sure,
something,
sure, sure, sure.
like, I think that's okay, but I think that was still flagging certain things if
Mm,
somebody had, like, too much of a clear shot. Because we're not supposed to be like, "Hey, read the book," and, so you
right.
could steal it, but, I think just doing normal discussions was
Yeah,
getting flagged and stuff, so, I think we'll be fine. But, yeah,
cool.
there's new stuff that I think, we can talk with people to help them wrap their heads around. Just doesn't have to be a whole big,
Yeah,
uh, "Oh, I don't want that whole," like, it's there's a lot of formatting stuff, and a few tweaks here and there that you have to wrap your head around, but it's
yeah.
not crazy.
Okay.
So, a game,
We'll
and we can
we'll
get
do
into
a
some
we'll
topics, yeah.
do a we'll do a game on Friday, and then plan on Monday we start diving into new players handbook stuff.
Yeah, yeah, I'm down. I'm here
Cool.
for it. Yep.
Awesome. I will prep a game so that you get to play.
Oh.
And
Oh, okay.
we can we'll see about getting a couple of friends of the show to come on and play.
Okay.
And see what happens.
Okay. Zach,
Cool.
I'd love to meet him. Uh, I know it's gonna be early, but
um okay. Awesome. Thank you all so much for being here. We will be back on Friday with a game. Hopefully with special guests. We'll see if I can wrangle some people up. And until then, have a great rest of your week. Remember to embrace the nonsense, and we will see you next time. Bye y'all.